hello ladies! Is that a raft in the pool, or you just happy to see me? Yeah! Alright, excuse me, guy, I'm trying to get through to the ladies. You know, excuse me. Come on, you wanna move, yo? Alright, whatever, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me! Oh, come on, guys, they're gonna get out of the pool. They're gonna dry off, like, with a towel, when they should be doing anything but that. Okay, come on! Whatever, this is Test Drive Unlimited 2, and the last thing I want to do at this party is drive around in another boring racing game that fails to deliver on what inexplicable hype it had in the first place. Evidently, every character in this game is a jerk.
I've got you a surprise that I'm sure you're gonna like.
Released earlier this year by Atari, Test Drive Unlimited 2 is another street racing game. A genre that, personally, I couldn't possibly care less about. But what's interesting about this game is the approach it takes to a genre seemingly without much room for trying new things. You see, Test Drive Unlimited 2 is kind of like an open-world RPG racer, with ladies in a pool that you cannot jump into. So much for the open-world thing. You play as a lowly valet who gets fired for dozing off on the job. Another classic example of video game logic. This sets off a chain of events that gets you entered in a racing competition. I mean, obviously, who hasn't that happened to? So you drive around this gorgeous Mediterranean island and you participate in racing lessons, you complete missions, the whole 9 yards. You're free to go anywhere you please, and in doing so, you find opportunities to level up your character in 4 different areas. And that allows you to unlock new content and new car upgrades. With a structure like that, you'd think there'd be a lot to do in Test Drive Unlimited 2, and there is to a degree, only really, there's not much to do other than drive around. You can only leave your car when the game allows it, and apart from the missions, there aren't many opportunities for interaction with your environment. I mean, it's nice to have a big one, but it'd be nicer if you had something to use it for. Which brings me back to those ladies back at the, that's what she said! The story isn't much better with the racing mechanics either. They aren't bad or anything, it's just, they're not great either. The cars aren't very satisfying to drive, especially for a game that's trying to be a bit arcadey, and they're also a bit clunky for a game with that kind of a focus. Fortunately, the multiplayer options are nice, and the environments look great when you're heading down the highway, but once you step out of the car, well, the details aren't very pretty, meaning the characters you encounter in the interiors that you sadly have to navigate.
Hey, if it isn't Solar Crown's new hotshot driver, well, the first thing a driver needs is a car. And since it looks like money might be an issue, let's go visit a friend of mine.
I really like the idea of infusing a racing game with some old-fashioned walk-around and level-up design, but in this case, it kind of works against what the rest of the game's trying to achieve. It's boring when you're not in a car, and sometimes it's even boring when you're in the car thanks to some pretty mediocre driving mechanics. There are some genuinely good ideas in Test Drive Unlimited 2. Unfortunately, it leaves their potential back at the garage, in a pile of greasy rags. If you just would have let me in the pool, we could have avoided all this criticism. I just want to go for a swim. With the ladies. Come on, man!